Well, we're in a weird place in human history. Dealing with the coronavirus, about a month and a half into this pandemic, America is starting to open up some states. May 1st will be here this Friday in a couple days as I make this video. And some things are seeming like they're going back to normal, but the more I talk to people and the more I experience life, it's like more people are going nuts than going back to normal. And I'm not talking about buying toilet paper. I'm talking about contention in the household. I think divorce rates are going up. I think bankruptcies are going up. People are going to lose their business. I don't think society is going back to normal. I think the fact that people have to deal with a new normal is causing mental pain. I think the summer will help as far as getting sunlight, people being able to exercise outdoors, and just the sun in general, I think makes for a more pleasant atmosphere. It will help some of the mental health. I certainly think that it's good that if we could safely open up some businesses and get back to some normalcy, I think that's a good thing. I think that will help. But I've been hearing more and more people that I either know directly or know through someone else that they are infected or someone they know has been infected and is seriously has health issues or has died. I do know that I've known a couple people that are going to get a divorce, not because of the coronavirus, but because this was kind of like the nail in the coffin. Like, they just can't deal with it anymore. I do. Well, I'm not going to say I directly know someone who's going to lose a business because that would be a lie. But I have heard of people having issues either filing unemployment or they're concerned that their business may not return to normal soon. And if this pandemic lasts, more than 6 months, as far as the way we operate in society, they will lose their business. They're going nuts. That's all they ever knew in their life. They don't have a lot of other skill sets. The president was asked today, well, what's the new normal, Mr. President? And he goes, well, I want to go back to the way things were 3 months ago. That's my goal. And so the reporter asked a good question. He goes, okay, if you think things are going back to normal, is that after we get the vaccine or before we get the vaccine? And the president did not give him a direct answer. And that is an answer within itself. So, if you even get a vaccine, that's said to take at least a year and a half. Businesses can't survive at 25% or 50% capacity. If you're a restaurant, entertainer, something to do with where people gather. And there's some words that have been said in a household over the course of these past month and a half that you'll never get back. There's some things in life that'll never change. People never change. But sometimes when you don't have to deal with people every day, you say, well, I could deal with it. Like last night, I called myself going back and forth with someone that I've seen on the bottom of YouTube. They are a troll everywhere they go. They're very conservative, very Trump. They're just nasty people. And I said, Sam, why you can't change people. Okay. You can't change people. Now I like to speak up because these people can get caught in their own self-righteousness, and I would love to see their history of their life. And I always wonder, like if you see a fan in the audience and they're there just to heckle the players, remember that's someone in the audience that wish they were able to play, but they can't. Okay. They don't have what it takes. So all they can do is try to boo the opposing player. But what I'm trying to tell you is you'll go nuts faster dealing with the wrong people. And if the wrong people are too close in your life, you're not going to be able to withstand this traumatic event in human history. Look, I told you what's going to get you through this pandemic and what's going to get you through life. Number one is a healthy routine. When I talked with my mom today, she was a little bit lazy today. Look, she's 73 years old. Okay. She worked her whole life till 70. Okay. There's some people that don't want universal health care, and they wouldn't want Social Security either. They wouldn't want Medicare either. They wouldn't have want the women's rights or civil rights. These people would have fought progress every step of the way. That's their mindset. They'll never change. They're going to die nasty. And you say, Sam, do you think everyone goes to heaven? I don't, but I can't judge. But I do want to say in my spirit, like, there's no way I would want to stand next to this person. Not in this life and not in the afterlife. I wouldn't want to stand next to him. And that's what it is. And these people are Christian. Jesus was the most socialist person you ever met in your life. Never forget that. Never forget it. But I digress. But this is what it's gotten to. Because I can't believe, we've bailed out the airlines. That's nuts. We're bailing out the oil companies who were already subsidized. That's nuts. And they gave the middle class people $1,200. And they didn't want to give you that. That's really nuts. And God forbid if you talk about future payments if we don't go back to normal. They say they don't want to do it. They don't know where the money's going to come from. That's really nuts. But, you see you go down this road of all these contentious political and society issues, and it gets you real off track in life. And normally, unless you're in the middle of an election, which we're getting ready to go into an election here in America too, and that's why it's going to get really bad for a lot of people's mental health. The only thing that saves you in life is your routine. And that's what messed people up a lot too with this coronavirus, because their normal routine got uprooted. Like they can't go to Starbucks or they can't go to a restaurant on the weekend. See, when I say a routine, I adapt. Like I had to adapt. I live on the road full time. I adapt all the time. And I definitely had to adapt with this. When I say a routine, I'm talking about the basic structure of your life. Waking up at a certain time, having a certain amount of time for your productivity, a certain amount of time for your entertainment, a certain amount of time for your exercise. And then at the end of the day, you've worn yourself out through productivity, exercise, and entertainment that you're exhausted at 10, 11 o'clock at night and you go to sleep. See, now my mom's 73, so she's retired. She don't have these different things to keep her productive, and she's not a self-starter. And so she napped a lot during the day. So she said, Sam, I'm concerned tonight I'm not going to be able to sleep. And sleep affects your stress and your immune system. A lack of sleep will make you go nuts. There's actually a torture technique called sleep deprivation. And you can actually make someone mentally break through the lack of a healthy sleep cycle. Your routine is so dependent on a healthy sleep cycle, it's crucial. And the only way you maintain that is if you wake up early and you don't take naps and you stay busy all day, productive. Because if you haven't burned up energy, you're going to have extra energy at the end of the day. Extra energy is anxiety. Anxiety induces stress. Stress weakens your immune system, and then you go nuts. And then you're debating back and forth with someone on YouTube who their own family members don't want to talk to. They're begging to bait you into their contentious stuff, and they're never going to go forward, and now you're dragged into the mud. This is how the world will break you very quick. So remember your basics. Remember, wake up early every day. Remember, stay productive, busy, exercise, fun, entertainment. And remember to, look, I'm pro-divorce. I'm pro-cutting people off quick. Because people drive you nuts and you don't need it. Life's hard enough. Life's hard enough, man. And the people who want to bait you into a contentious conversation, they've already gotten a divorce. And no one wants to deal with them. You're left to deal with them. And you can't save them. You can't save anyone in this life. You damn sure can't save them, but you're going to destroy yourself trying to save them. Of course, as a mother or as a parent, there's a bigger struggle. Part of the reason my mom's going nuts because she's worried about my other siblings. There's different personal issues, which I won't mention on the air because it's not my business. If it was my business, I share it's their business. But that's why I tell you guys too, be careful how many kids you have because kids, you always worry. Be careful how many pets you have. I thought about that today. I saw some beautiful dogs as I was walking. None as beautiful as the dog I have. But I don't know. I guess a dog helps some people. It does. It helped me. But I just feel like you're unfaithful. You get another dog. But everyone's different. I digress. But I'm not going to stretch this out. We're going to go all off comments. Bottom line is, guys, look, even though society's going back to normal, it's also going nuts. I see the people I meet, the people I talk to, not getting back to normal, but going more nuts. That's my verdict. Now, will that change? It may change. Everything in life changes. But right now, how I feel today, based on my interaction with the public, people I know, and people in my family, society is getting worse, not better. I am glad that if some things can open up responsibly, I think that's a plus for society. I'm not anti that. Obviously, you got to have a level of science involved. But I'm just trying to tell you that I think we're in it for the long run. Well, look, even if the coronavirus was gone tomorrow, like another reporter asked a great question today. They said, Mr. President, you say like the virus is going to go away. But if you say we're going to go back to normal before the vaccine, how is the virus just going to go away? There's no scientific way that a virus just disappears unless you have a vaccine. And he couldn't give a direct answer because there's no answer for that. The virus cannot magically go away without a vaccine. Okay. It can only continue to flare up during peak seasons and once you reintroduce people into society. And you have to remember, like in America, we've lost the most in the world, somewhere between, 50 to 60,000 people right now. And the president was saying, well, oh, yeah, we're probably only going to lose about 65,000. But guys, that's about 65,000 while the country was shut down. Once you reopen it without a vaccine, it doesn't stop at 65,000. It keeps going until you get a vaccine. So look, who's at risk? Look, the most at risk are the elderly, the out of shape, the stressed out. Stress is a killer, man. It really is, man. And if you die, shit, you want to die with some peace. And like I always tell you, I'll end on this and we'll go all live comments. Even if, let's just say you found a vaccine, or if it miraculously goes away, life will drive you nuts. I've done videos about it. People will drive you nuts. I hope in my spirit that even if we don't get universal health care and universal income, I hope that we continue to keep 6 feet social distancing everywhere because people are a pain in the ass. True. Now, there's some good people out there. But there are some bad people. Never forget, Judas was a capitalist and Jesus was a socialist. Judas betrayed Jesus for a couple pieces of silver. And Jesus healed people freely without charging them a dime. I'm going to do a whole live feed on that. Judas was a capitalist and Jesus was a socialist. Never forget it. Anytime someone is against common social services, they are the Judas. Because that's what the scriptures tell us. They're probably a Christian too. Judas capitalized off the opportunity to make money off Jesus, to make money off his death, to hand him over. Jesus healed the prostitute. You go out there right now and you go give health care to a prostitute, you're a socialist. Think about that. Let that fact sink into your soul. And let it be ether for those who are nasty and nuts. Okay. And let it be redemption for those who are speaking up for the right thing, doing the right thing. And I'm going to take a hydration break. I'm going to drink my holy water, Fuji water. Okay. I'm not mad at that. And then I'm going to read all live comments and we'll see what the people got to say. Click that thumbs up, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to do a live feed on that. Judas was a capitalist. Jesus was a socialist. That's a good topic, man. I didn't even think about that. That's a good one. All right, let's see what we got to say. Jamanda, what's up, man? Number 9 watching today. Well, I'm very thankful. I remember when having 9 people in the live chat was a record for me. Now I average somewhere between 30 to 50. The highest amount of people I had in the live chat in one time, I think, was about 150. That was when the coronavirus first started. I don't know what we were talking about, 5G or something. The masses want to hear like a conspiracy theory. They want to hear like Bill Gates is the devil. Bill Gates has helped more people than these psychopaths on YouTube ever did. Okay? Just Microsoft Office Microsoft Office has helped more people than most of these psychopaths on YouTube that don't do much. So, forget about all the other work that he's done in other countries, like, giving people medicine, things like that. Come on, guys. Come on, man. But that's all right. Oreo Mouse, good to see you, Oreo Mouse. It's always a blessing to have you in this live chat. How are you today, Sam? I would say today was medium. Not bad, not good. But I'll take that. And I'm thankful for what I have. I don't take what I have for granted. And so you make the most of each day. How's your day? Norma, another great, wonderful beauty. Hey, Sam. Hello to you. Jamanda was watching Without Bond documentary and saw you pop up on the window. Well, it's great to have you, man. You ask great questions. Great to see you, Jamanda. Oreo, oh, wow. Jamanda, likes. Everyone hit that like. I appreciate those who do click that like. Oreo, hello, Norma. How are you today? Oreo, wow, right? Norma, doing great. How are you, Mouse? Jamanda, gonna finish up that doc. Have a great day, brother. Have a good show. Thank you for stopping in and thank you for the encouragement. God bless you, man. And come back if you get bored with that doc. I may be talking about anything in a couple minutes. Oreo Mouse, I'm fine, thank you. Oreo, what are you doing, Norma? Oreo, people have changed. Oh, this is a good comment, Oreo. People have to change themselves. Damn it, Oreo, great comment. You can't change your mother, you can't change your daughter, you can't change your spouse, you can't change a nasty troll on YouTube. You can't change people. You will go nuts trying to change people, trying to convince people. The biggest burden in your life will be trying to change someone. The biggest sigh of relief will be just accepting them and either removing them from your life, or if you're willing to deal with them. I'm not willing to deal with them. I'd rather be by myself, and I am by myself, and I like it that way. I'll deal with people if I have to, and if I see someone in need, I'll do what I need to do to do the right thing. But other than that, I agree with that, Oreo Mouse. Norma, I have been doing yard work for my parents all day. God bless you. Gonna eat a while. Sam is on them. Take a walk. I agree with that. How about you? Yeah, got some sun today. The sun is out. It's getting warmer in New Jersey. You're in Maryland, so you know it's getting warmer. That's a good thing. And look, even if the coronavirus is around with us, I think that the warmer weather just for mental health will help. And going for a walk is a huge blessing in life. It's one of your saviors. So that's good. And I'm glad you're able to be around your parents. I know I'm glad at least I'm able to be around my mom, Norma. I agree. Most cannot handle change. The vast majority of that. So that's why it takes a whole generation to change. It took a whole generation to get to the promised land. One generation died, including Moses in the wilderness. Took a whole generation to change civil rights and women's rights, etc. And it's going to take another generation for America to be the last first world country for universal health care. And we may be the first with universal basic income because we're bailing out every corporation. And we'll see how far this goes. Gabriel, what's up, man? I am going crazy too. I hear you, man. Trying to stay alive through music. Music heals the soul. Try to go for a walk too. Which state are you in? I'm in New Jersey. Great to see you, Gabriel. I hear you, man. Just try to hang in there. Gangster, what's up, man? Trump is racialist. Look, yeah, I think he definitely has a history of it, whether it's the Central Park Five, whether it was not basically delaying Harriet Tubman going on a $20 bill. When he took office, he basically postponed that. So, look, I think he has a history of slight, narrow-minded perspective. Is he a blanket, straight-out racist? No, but I think he has tendencies. But I think he's just a failed leader, even if you took that component out of it. In my opinion, I don't think he has good character. I think people who voted for him know he doesn't have good character. I think the people who voted for him, they don't have good character themselves. Most of them, not all of them. And look, bottom line is the best part about, for me, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of the best way to express the burn in my soul. But I think a big part of it is nasty people want you to be upset with Trump. And that's why they voted for Trump. They want to get people upset. It's like, why does a mass shooter commit that horrific act? Because they want people to feel their pain. Why do people vote for Trump? They want people to feel their pain. They don't care if it's a solution. They just want you to feel pain. They don't care. So, look, my hope is not really for this world. I want to try to make this world progressively better like anyone else. I want to have a positive impact. I don't want to have a Donald Trump impact. I want to have a positive impact. So for me, I'm just a traveler through this world, man. I don't want to hold on to this world too tight because it is what it is. And I believe when Jesus said, look, don't love this world or anything in it. And I know why, because this world's a dookie emoji. However, look, I am thankful that I do have a lot compared to most other people in the world. And I do think America is one of the best places to be in the world. So it's the give and take, as you examine life and you examine human nature. But I think there'll always be a Donald Trump, just like there'll always be a Judas. There'll always be a capitalist. There'll always be a capitalist. There'll always be someone looking to make money off anything, even if it's giving up the savior. Doesn't matter. And then, some of those people commit suicide, like Judas, and some of them it's a tough thing, man. However, it's part of life. So, we go forward. Oriole, I'm playing my virtual pet. I love that. I was thinking about that last night. It brought me some smiles to my face. Oreo Mouse has a virtual porcupine, which I think is a very cool virtual pet. I adopted a virtual koala bear last night. That was very exciting for me. Norma, I thought that was you. Great to have you, Norma. Yeah, that's Queen, a.k.a. Oreo Mouse Chocolate Chip Mint. I just threw it out. Queen, I had some pistachio halo ice cream. Valerie, hey, Valerie. Hello, Sam. Hope your weather's okay. It's a little bit better, Valerie. Thank you. The sun was out today, and that was a blessing. That's vitamin D. Vitamin D is important for your immune system. Good to see you. Thank you for your comment today. Thank you for sharing some of your life story with the different things you were faced with in life. I read it. I appreciate that. So stay positive, Valerie. Love to everyone in the Northwest. And there are a lot of positive, that's why I try to catch myself now. I get frustrated with people. You got to be careful too online, because online is sometimes the worst of the worst. But there are a lot of good people out there, or at least people trying to do the best they can. But sometimes you scroll in the comment section of videos and you see the worst of the worst. Don't forget, people who are the nastiest, sometimes they're the loudest. Okay, that's just the way human nature is. So, bottom line, Valerie, is thank you. Keep pushing forward. Nathan, my lead at work is so rude and really gets on my nerves. Everyone else is cool. What should I do? Snap back at her or suck it up? Suck it up and document if there's abuse or unethical treatment. Do not snap back, because then you're going to basically get in trouble for them. So try to do your tasks without involving your lead. If you can't avoid it, try to have someone else there with you so it can be confirmed by another witness if there does something escalates. And document without walking around with a GoPro on your back and being like an undercover spy. So try to mitigate the aggravation by not working with them unless you need to. And if you do work with them, see if you can bring someone else in the loop to try to be a buffer, or at least someone else that can witness the conversations and the treatment. And if it really is bad and it's not an abuse, it's just dealing with a bad person, then, try to see if you can secure another job before you'd quit that job. So obviously that's the last resort, the last piece of advice I gave you, but that would be my overall philosophy on life in my experience in dealing with bad workers, co-workers, etc. Good question, Norma. Very glad I'm not entangled in a relationship through this. Norma, that's a great comment. I thought about that today. For me, there's different personalities in the world, so I can't speak for everyone. But for me, I found great solace, meaning peace, great peace, not having to deal with someone. Now, again, even before the coronavirus, I don't want to deal with people because I've come to know myself in my mid-30s, now almost 40. But I would definitely say during a thing like this where you're trapped inside, I know personally people in my family, friends, and even people I know casually that they're having serious problems in their household. Now, to be fair, they had these problems before the coronavirus, but the coronavirus was a buffer. When things were normal, like people working a lot and people not being in the house a lot, that was a buffer. I knew a guy living in his car on the verge of a divorce, and he would live in his car on the weekend just to get out of the house. And during the weekday, he would stay home with his wife. Now, he was men going his own way, and he got mad when I made a video saying that men going their own way are not taking accountability for their life. So now the coronavirus hit, he's not living in his car on the weekend. He's living with his wife, and I'm sure it's a total disaster. He should have took accountability for his life and figured something out before instead of joining men going their own way. But what I'm trying to tell you is, if you don't have a healthy foundation with someone, the coronavirus is just going to bring up more cracks. Like, guys, I tell you, why do I cut off people that have different political views? Because we look at life differently. How I've blocked a lot of additional people during the coronavirus because Trump's personality has shined through. And my stance has got more aggressive because I am more offended by who's leading our country. And they're more emboldened on not backing down from who they're defending. So the foundation of our relationship, how we look at life politically and philosophy, that got extreme during extreme time. So guys, we never liked each other. Like 2 months ago, you were Trump 2020. I was like still progressive. I still voted for Hillary, but I was just like, I'll let it be. But I don't like the guy, and other people will let it be. But then when you're in an emergency, you take your stand. And so when shit hits the fan, the true self comes out. And my true self is, guys, I would never fuck with someone like Trump. You know what I mean? I mean, if I had no other choice, if it was my boss, I would work for him. I wouldn't disrespect him. But in my personal life, and that's what we're talking about now. Again, people get it confused with YouTube because YouTube, I treat it like personal and business. But in my personal life, and we're talking about like having domestic problems, not maybe domestic dispute, but domestic problems. In my personal life, like I could never come home to someone, they watch a Trump press conference, they say, oh, he's doing a great job. I feel like totally not the right thing. Not that I blame the entire virus on him. I got to be fair because I think, this could have happened to anyone to some extent. But I look at a press conference with Cuomo from New York and then Trump. It's two people who look at life differently. And that matters to me, because you're trying to get through life. You want to look, so all I'm trying to tell you beyond the political part of it is at the core is a foundation of who you are. And you only want people in your inner circle that are your core. Now, again, like Nathan, if you're dealing with people at your work, it's not about politics. It's about, look, you have a job to do. You're a paid professional. If there's disrespect or immoral abuse, then you document it and you report it. But that's obviously last resort, and that's got to be a serious thing. But in your personal life, guys, you don't want to be playing that game because you need all your strength for your business life and for your goals in life and, for what you need to do in life. Guys, even before the coronavirus, life will make you go nuts. Before the coronavirus, people committed suicide. Before the coronavirus, people broke down mentally. Okay, I've been broken mentally before it happens, guys. So before the coronavirus, there were vaccines. I've been vaccinated. I went to public schools. I had measles vaccine. I never heard Bill Gates was the devil before the coronavirus. I never heard like the person who did the measles vaccine was the devil. I mean, I did hear debates about vaccines. That's fair. There's some debate to be had there. That's fine. But in an emergency situation, like I told you, it brings out the best and the worst, but really it just brings out who you are. Okay. For the most part. And then that really, I don't know if that changes much. Like I remember Trump getting interviewed when he was like running for president. And they asked him about his youth. Like, he was a troublemaker. He was a shit stirrer in high school. And his parents sent him to, like, boarding school. And he said, look, I was an asshole. And they basically said, well, have you changed? He goes, no, I'm pretty much still an asshole. So it's like, people are who they are. You know what I mean? So it's, it's how you look at life. No. Yes, Jesus was the original socialist. Yeah. Now, look, obviously, I don't want to get bad at balance. I recognize that America and a level of the system is healthy. But I also recognize that we are socializing corporate Wall Street, and we have been for a long time. And it's out of balance. Now, look, whatever. I mean, I'll play the game. I mean, I understand the game, and I don't want, I always want the highly productive and the innovators to be more rewarded. Not everyone should have the same. But I don't want airlines, oil companies, farmers, all people that are subsidized by the government and getting more subsidies, them be rewarded. Our treasury is racking up our national debt to buy junk bonds to keep the stock market propped up. Trump said today, look, the economy's improving. Look at the stock market. Guys, none of the 26 million who are unemployed got employed. Now, I do agree that you want the stock market to go up because if it goes down, it's more damage. But you see that you're considered lazy, nasty, and a problem to the country if you ask for the same thing the corporations already asked for. The corporations asked Washington, well, they lobbied Washington. okay, that we don't want to pay out pensions. We want 401ks. Put all the risk on the employer, on the employee, okay? And most people borrow from their 401ks, they cash it out, and then when they retire, they're dependent on Social Security. So when you had a pension, you had a guaranteed, dignified retirement based on your work history. Wall Street came up with the 401k in 1978 to purposely put the risk on you and to basically not be responsible for taking care of you. As far as based on your work history, getting a certain amount of compensation. Same thing with healthcare. So, we're out of balance. Look, statistically, the wealth gap in America has never been bigger since the Great Depression. However, to be fair, I think we're a lot better off than the Great Depression. I think there are opportunities out there. I mean, even now, I think about that as myself. If I'm fair, if I got laid off today, I could DoorDash today, and I would not be destitute. I would not be on a bread line. Okay, so now obviously, if you have 3 kids, and if you owned a restaurant, you could be on a bread line. So you have to balance it. Okay, I don't want full blown, government runs everything. However, I don't want the corporations getting all the good parts of the government and none of the regulation. And regular people are bearing the burden. Regular people pay the most taxes. Middle class gets squeezed the most. And so, just got to remember that. Oriamos. They are saying that this is the new normal. Yeah, that's a good comment. Like I say, Trump was asked about that today. And he said he doesn't want this to be the new normal. He wants everything to go back to the way it was. And he said, okay, when is that going to happen, before or after the vaccine? And he didn't have a direct answer. So basically, it's not going to go back to normal anytime soon. Oriamos. Write a daily routine. Got to have a good, healthy daily routine. If you ever go into a rehab, if you have a family member that goes into a rehab, which I have had, the number one thing they do is they structure the day. They put you on a routine. Same thing with jail. Same thing with anything when you're in an institution that, quote unquote, is trying to rehab you. You're putting a structure of your day so as to keep a cycle of life, a sanity, and a peace. So, you have to consciously structure your day or else you're going to suffer. Oreo Mouse, love to you. Oreo Mouse, wow, right? Josh, hey chat, hello to you. Lala, what's up, man? Stress will kill you, so true. The 100 emoji. And that's why I tell you guys, like YouTube or other things, even being a politician, I mean, anything in life where you are dealing with a multitude of people, you're dealing with more stress. And it's not worth it. It'll break you mentally unless you're really taking care of yourself and you have the extra capacity to deal with the stress. So I tell all the potential YouTubers out there, like, yeah, it could be a great side hustle, but are you willing to deal with a level of mental stress? I mean, some of you guys know you changed your profile or you shut down certain media, social media, because you're going back and forth arguing with some people. It's just nasty. It's unhealthy. You feel it's unhealthy for your soul, and it's frustrating. It has good parts. Maybe it's entertaining. You get some information, but you get so turned off and so hurt by the bad parts of social media that can destroy your well-being. It can add more stress than good. And so you got to be very careful. Josh, Nomad, I'm not sure if we will ever reopen because there are a lot of anti-vaccine people who are pushing back against Bill Gates. Just online in the comment section, but again, they're not pushing back against the measles vaccine. I don't know why it's going to happen. This is just a real wild card. Yeah, I mean, obviously, look, the vaccine is going to be interesting if they ever get it. But look, I mean, right, I think even if you don't get the vaccine, I think they're saying that most of society is probably going to get it. Probably the real issue may be if the virus mutates. But even like with the flu vaccine, I never got the flu vaccine. I've gotten the measles vaccine because you need that to go to public schools. So I don't know if it would be mandatory or optional. But I'm certainly not going to go by the advice of someone in the comments section. Okay, when someone's giving medical advice, now they can give their opinion because I've seen a couple people with a medical degree that I wouldn't follow their advice. So I'm not going to say that a medical degree makes you God, because it doesn't. Just like an electrical license doesn't make you a great electrician. However, there's some level of confidence that I put in a level of credentials. So I'm not going to take the advice of someone in the comments section of a conspiracy theory YouTube video saying that Bill Gates is the devil. I mean, you got, how much medicine have you studied? Or are you just watching Alex Jones? I mean, at some point, I mean, you got to take it all with a grain of salt. Um, no, man. I don't know what's going to happen. This is a real wild. That's true. And that's why, and that's why other countries do censor. Thank God America may censor a little bit, but it's still probably one of the most, I guess you got Canada, you got Europe, you got other countries. They allowed freedom of speech. But in countries, China, etc., that they won't allow a debate like this to take place publicly. They censor what's said online and what you can post and research. So, it's interesting. Valerie, Bill Gates is a follower of the Bible. Well, I don't know that, and just because he is doesn't mean I'd co-sign him, because I met some evil people that follow the Bible. I've heard him quote the Bible scriptures on giving. Well, that's positive. Much is expected of those who are given. I believe that also. Well, I do believe that too. And I would agree with you in the essence of your comment, which is that me personally, I've never seen him do anything hurtful to others. I haven't seen any of the products that he's made been negative to society. And I haven't heard anything that he said that's irrational. So if I have to add all that up, I'm not saying that guarantees he's right. But if I add up all that, I would lean what Valerie's getting to a greater point where, we don't really have a reason to bash him at this point. Lala, hey, Matt, we try to get rid of Trump because he's just a psychopath. That's true. So is Michael Jordan. But vote Joe Biden. I'm going to vote Joe Biden. I agree. Jennifer, hey, Jennifer. Hey, Sam, one day at a time. That's the wisdom from the Lord right there. A lot of Florida emojis. Gave me a strawberry. And the koala bear came back. Oh, the bikini's here. I haven't seen a bikini in a long time, Jennifer. I'm praying for that day. When we return back to normal, that's the thing, right? If I go back to Florida, or even if I'm in New Jersey and the beaches are reopened, will girls wearing bikini be wearing a face mask? Think about that. That's wild, man. So I don't know, man. Because right now you can go on the beaches in Florida, some of them, but you can't sunbathe. You can only swim or exercise. So that's, it's a different world. Greenblood, what's up, man? Glad we have the NHS. What does that stand for? But I hate Britain, love the USA, and have family in NJ, New Jersey. But they have gone away overboard with the virus here, with lockdown, etc. Peace, love to the States. Thanks, man. Thank you. Greenblood says, watch your channel every day. Thank you. New sub. Well, thank you, Greenblood. I appreciate that. Yeah, look, New Jersey and New York have the highest rates of infection throughout the whole country. The top two states for infections are New York and New Jersey. So it's obvious, not obvious. Well, yeah, it's an obvious reason why there's the most lockdown. But I'm in New Jersey and I move freely every day. I have to wear a face mask in the store. But guys, if you have the highest rates and the highest deaths, you're going to have the highest lockdown. It makes sense. It's proportional to the thing. So, look, you can be in Florida and still can't even file for unemployment. So, look, Florida's unemployment totally failed its citizens. Who was the governor of Florida the past 2 years? Remember Governor Scott? He frauded Medicare. Okay. He was a scam artist. Okay. Another conservative. Yeah, look it up. And they don't say that, he was a bad person. They say, oh, thank God we didn't get a guy doing drugs in a hotel room. Guys, you'd rather a guy, Gilliam, get caught doing drugs in a Miami hotel room, and at least you'd be able to file for unemployment and have health care. These guys scam the health care pot, like Mitch McConnell from Kansas. Then they don't want to give you it. And then they don't even leave you with being able to file for unemployment. So, guys, look, the facts are in it. So I'm not falling for the banana and tailpipe. I agree with that. Carrie, shout out to Wisconsin. Thank you for all your love and support. Hey, Sam, hello to you. How are you, Carrie? Thank you. Josh, Nathan, you suck it up and fill up your bag until you find something better. You can make it, brother. Valerie, I don't listen to gossip. Well, that's good. Bill Gates is a good man and man who loves God. Yeah, well, again, I don't know. There's a lot of people I met that claim to love God and they're nasty. But I do agree with the sentiment, the essence of what you're saying, which is based on so far what I've personally seen. I haven't seen anything that Bill Gates has done that's destructive or negative to society. So that doesn't mean there can't be something, because everyone has skeletons in their closet. But I just haven't seen enough facts, evidence, or personal thing that he's done. NVRV. Shout out to Alaska and everyone who has a pee jug, but it's frozen up because they live in Alaska. I don't know if you watched my live feed last night, NVRV. NVRV is a viewer who lives in Alaska full-time in our Nissan cargo van. And I said last night, like, even if they gave me $1 million, I don't think I will move to Alaska. Let's see. Even though they have the petroleum dividend in Alaska, oil companies pay their citizens a dividend off the money. Now, we subsidize oil companies. Okay. So we're saving them right now. We're bailing them out. Trump said that today. We're not going to let our oil companies fail. So what does that mean? Taxpayers are going to bail them out. And that means, like, so if they give NVRV and everyone in Alaska a dividend, oil companies should give everyone in this country a dividend, especially if we're going to bail them out. Okay. Because we're socializing their losses, but we're privatizing their gains. Okay. That's the ignorant people that don't realize we already have socialism, but it's just for the corporations. NVRV, you did a great job. HR advice. Well, thank you, NVRV. NVRV is a very balanced mind. I always tell you, NVRV, you are a very intelligent woman. I can see NVRV being the president. She's that intelligent. And she's got a very even tempered. Now, the only thing is, like, once in a while, like, well, I don't know, like, it's good to have an even temper, but people want you to get fired up because most people are psychopaths. So if you don't get fired up, like they blamed Obama, like he's got to get more upset. He's got to get more upset. So people are emotional. They want you to be emotional. But NVRV, she's very, like, calm-tempered and very smart. She writes everything down. I've dealt with bad coworkers before. Well, NVRV, you're a rock star in my opinion. Josh. Valerie, yeah, can't listen to all those conspiracy theories. It's a balance. I don't want to bash all conspiracy theories because there's some that have uncovered real truths. Like Vietnam was a fraud as far as how it started. And, look, the JFK assassination, even MLK, there's been different things that the government has done. The Contra, when Reagan allowed drugs to flow from South America to fund a war that Congress didn't approve. Guys, how do you think we got the crack era? Thank Reagan for the Contra. Oliver North, look it up. So there are things that the government does that is a conspiracy. I mean, right now they're bailing out corporations right in your face. And they're telling you, we don't want to do socialism. So, it's a banana and tailpipe game. MVRV, spot on. Try to have a witness. Amen. Amen. And if you got to have, amen. And then as soon as you can, whether in your household or in your job, try to reposition your life somewhere where you don't always have to play that game. Norma? No way to get away from each other. No thanks. Norma, 100 emoji. Me and you get same way. Lila, A.K. Zach. Hey, no, man. You know what's funny? TV producer on CNN, and I vote for somebody else. TV, social media, YouTube. So maybe I would do national-wide cross-country. Well, Zach, like I tell you, I like that you're diverse in what you're looking at. I like that you do your Christmas lights, and I like that you're hanging in there. Love to your family. I know you're just getting over the grief of your papa. So love to you, Zach. We appreciate you. Josh. Norma, did you mention that you had a side hustle until you can massage again? Yeah, I know she had got a job offer, Norma. No, I'm thinking about doing Instacart. Yeah, Instacart and DoorDash for the win right now. Norma, I was a veterinarian tech. That's a good job. Before I can do that again until the massage is safe. Those are good hustles. Josh, Norma, yeah, Instacart is also great. One of my coworkers are doing it now and it's killing it. Yeah, you can make some. You're definitely be able to survive on DoorDash and Instacart. I mean, if it's just you, there's no doubt about it. If you had to, in a decent market. Josh, vets are still open, huh? That's good. Yeah, if you had a pet, hopefully you still be able to get to a vet. Ty, what's up, man? They are putting military retirements on 401k type, did they? For the new people coming in. Wow, man. I didn't know that, Ty. I have to look that up. Thank you for the comment. That's a shame, man. That really is. A 401k was the biggest Wall Street scam, started in 1978. It really was. It's a shame. Look, if they wanted to do that, then you should have increased Social Security. And that's why a lot of people now, it's tough for them to retire. Milano knows. Milano just retired. Well, he got some Social Security. He still has to work. Because I think Milano's getting Social Security. He's 63. He worked all his life. Not a lazy man. This guy worked his whole life. And he was in the service. Okay. And he's getting, I don't know what he's getting, like $1,200 or $1,400 a month. Guys, that's 1 month's worth of rent. Okay. And even if you had your mortgage paid off, that's your property taxes for, that's your property taxes, your gas, your electric, your food. You're barely surviving. So I'm fortunate, man. I'm very thankful, but I could see a lot of pain out there. Josh, I think vets are essential. Would be said, we're forced to close. I agree with that. Ricardo, what's up? Ricardo, shout out to Massachusetts. How are you holding up, Sammy? Your boy Ricky. It's great to see you, Ricky. Uh, yeah, I mean, I have my good days and bad days. I would say today was a pretty good day, medium day, not bad day. It was sunny, so that helps my mental health. I did what I need to do from work. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful I still have a job. I'm thankful that at least I'm able to see my mom. Cause she is old, man. I mean, not I don't want to say that negative, but she's older and she's out of shape. And we know someone that's on a respirator because of coronavirus. So now it's kind of hitting home because I've now known a few people that actually have had the virus. I couldn't have said that a couple of weeks ago. And I think as the weeks progress and as we open up, I think everyone in this chat room a year from now is going to know someone either directly or indirectly. And I think directly that had the coronavirus. I really do. And if not died from it, God forbid. Norma, I agree, Josh. A lot of it bothers me they want corporations not only to have liability, not to have any liability. I agree. So you can't sue. They're opening up some things in my state already. Yeah, and I wouldn't even be mad because I don't want corporations to fail. I wouldn't be mad if they said, look, we don't want corporations to be on the hook for your retirement or for your health insurance. That's fine. Then just do universal health care and increase the dignity of Social Security. Now, Joe Biden is running on you'll be able to collect Social Security at 60. Ronald Reagan pushed it to 67, and Donald Trump cut social spending and healthcare spending, okay? And we got a healthcare crisis. He increased military spending, and we're bailing out oil companies. So if you want to know where someone's treasure is, look at where they spend their cash. And over the past 4 years, we spent our cash on the military and on corporate subsidies. And that's where we're at. BRM MDes, what's up, man? Hello from Massachusetts, another Massachusetts rep. Good to see you, BRN. Thank you for all the comments, Josh. Nomad, there are a lot of people who idolize Kobe after his death. Yeah, I know. I didn't agree. I got some backlash for not agreeing with him. I think Snoop Dogg threatening that one reporter, I think that was a disgrace. I know Jordan also gets idolized. Yeah, I don't like either one of them. I wouldn't have wanted to play basketball with either one. I think they're both, I mean, you look at their history. You look at how they treated their teammates, what they did to win, and Jordan was a gambleaholic. Some people said his father's death was partly responsible because of his gambling debts. Now, I don't know that's fact, but there's a couple people from the mob that gave an interview to testify about it. So, guys, look, they were great basketball players. But just like Trump, they were the ultimate capitalists. They would do anything to win. And anyone that was in their way, they were going to get treated harshly. And so, I got to call it how I see it. Greenblood, I was meaning the lockdown here, not the states. And NHS stands for National Health Service. Okay, thank you. Ice Thesis, what's up, man? Shout to Baltimore. What's up, Sam? Great weather today. Thank the Lord. Went for a 12-mile walk. Damn it, that'll keep you going for not going nuts. Is zebra print clothing a red flag? Yeah, zebra print cloth is the same thing as leopard skin. It's a wild animal. You can't domesticate it. Never marry, in my opinion, never marry or even date a girl that has leopard skin clothing, zebra skin clothing, or any wild animal print. Because it's a sign of someone who has a wild spirit. They're not meant to be domesticated. If you try to domesticate a wild animal in week 6 of a national emergency, you're going to go nuts. You're going to go nuts. And you're going to say, Sam, I got to get divorced. I got to say, look, you shouldn't even got married. Okay. However, I'm going to give you a quick divorce because I'm telling you right now, that's a wild animal. Now, I got a virtual koala bear as a pet. Queen's got a virtual porcupine, but they're virtual. They're not like our real spouse. Let's continue. Great word today, brother. God bless you. Thank you. BRN Mendez, Massachusetts, third. Yeah, I talked to someone in Massachusetts today. That's what they told me. Now it's the third highest state. Wow. Okay, thank you. Milano, what's up, man? Shout out to Miami. Sammy, Parks Marina Golf, opening now. Praise the Lord, with a lot of restrictions still, but that's good. I'm glad if we can open it up, we do. However, keep your distance and practice hygiene because I think you're going to have infection rates that go up, so just be careful. Kerry, I'm good, but dealing with 40-mile-per-hour winds. Well, thank you for sharing, Kerry. Yeah, the wind is the worst. When I came to New Jersey, there was one day where it was 80-mile-per-hour winds. The cold air, when it's a high wind, it cuts right through you, and it kills you. It kills me mentally. And I can never live, I can't live through another winter. I go nuts. So I feel your pain, Carrie. Hang in there. The good news is in a couple weeks, we're going to have warmer weather, even in Wisconsin. Hang in there. Norma? Ice says, I know you didn't ask me, but I would say yes. Red flag. I agree with that. Yeah, look at Jay Bird. Gave 3 red flags. Excellent job, Ryan. 86 degrees here in Utah. Damn. It's wonderful. That sounds great, man. Shout out to you, Ryan B. Forgive me for saying the name wrong. Oh, Nightfall Vlogs. The news is one simple statement. Hello, all. Same old, same death, destruction, chaos, corruption. We are still here. Carry on as per usual. Thank you for the comment. Yeah, look, even before the coronavirus, I thought this world was nuts. And even before the coronavirus, even if you don't watch the news, I think there's a thin line to keep your sanity in this world. So during the coronavirus, you got to really work extra hard. It's not easy. Norma, I have to drive, won't be able to comment anymore. That's okay. You drive safely. We love you, Norma. Thank you, Sam. I'm listening. God bless you. Listen to me. I was listening today. If you're going nuts, I want you to turn on Spotify and search soothing instrumentals. Okay. Don't search, I had a playlist, like Drake, Nas, Wu-Tang Clan, all that. When you're going nuts, The Weeknd, don't listen to that. When you're going nuts, put on soothing instrumentals. Just Google in the Spotify app, soothing instrumentals. You need that to calm down. Josh. Bye, Norma. Marion, what's up? Shout out to Senable Island. Damn it. Milford Motors. Okay, not MILFs. Milford Motors. Okay. All you guys out there. I know I did a video today saying if you're thinking about buying a used RV, and go to Cruise America and you may get a cheap Class C 19-foot. If you're really in the RV market, check out Milford Motors. If you're in Southwest Florida, that's a RV dealership that Marin and her husband have. I think Starbucks in Florida are opening up. Drive-through only, I heard, not inside the restaurants yet, unless it's just takeout, from what I understand. Because I heard the CEO of Starbucks on the conference call today. No gyms, but outside seeing some restaurants. Yes, I am glad that some things are opening up. If we can do it responsibly, yeah, you got to get people moving. I agree. Good job. Milano Semi, you hear the new drug? I heard that Gilead, publicly traded company, which is fine. Yeah, they have a new therapeutic drug. New therapeutic. What does that mean? It means it's basically just like a sedative. It'll help you. It'll help ease the pain and maybe help you get through the virus, but it's not a vaccine. It's not a cure. It's a therapeutic drug. So, guys, what's massage therapy? Like, if you go to see Norma to get a massage and she gives you massage therapy, it's not going to make your back better long term. You're going to have a sugar high. And then once Norma stops giving you a massage and you go home, your back's going to hurt again. And then the next week you come to see Norma for another massage. Massage therapy or therapeutics is like a chiropractor. It's not a long-term solution. It helps you just get through some pain. However, guys, we all need a back rub. We all need a hand job. But what I'm trying to tell you is the virus is going to be around until we get a vaccine. And even Trump said that today. So it's interesting. Ivan, what's up? Hey, Sammy. Hope all's well. I checked out RVs the other day as they are essential. Do you think you'll check out and post RV videos in the near future? I don't know about the near future because right now in New Jersey, RV dealerships are still closed down. In Virginia, they're open. They've stayed open. And in Florida, they're open. So if I go back down south, even in New Jersey, there's not that many RV dealerships because it's not an RV state. I mean, there's RVs in the state, but the RV culture in New Jersey is like very small. In Florida, the RV culture is like everywhere. So if I'm in a state that has that culture and more RVs to look at, then definitely. I mean, no matter what, my channel will always have a level of RV reviews in it. I just haven't been in Florida. I haven't been by RV dealers. I mean, I did that one from Pennsylvania like 3 weeks ago. But yeah, I will do RV reviews in the future, but I don't know about the immediate future depending on how things unfold. Love to you, Ivan. Norma. My former husband and his current wife have COVID-19. Well, Norma, you sound like Donald Trump when he found out like Mitt Romney may have COVID-19. I don't think you cried when you heard that. First people I know get it, but probably not the last. Well, I don't wish that on them. Norma, God bless you. I'm going to laugh at that one. Not that I wish that on them, but that's a little funny. Because I could see Norma right now when she found out. Norma, what was your reaction when you found out? Yeah, she laughing. I know it. She had to be laughing while she's driving. Don't get in an accident, Norma. But I could see Norma's face when she found out her ex-husband and her and his new wife got COVID-19. I can see her right now, looking like Bill Gates behind a vaccine desk, just happy as hell. So just be careful, Norma. We love you. Pluto, what's up, brother? Shout out to you and Tariq. Sammy, hope your day is well, man. Love to you and all my real Floridians out there, brother. God bless the millions of Floridians that have tried to file for unemployment, but the website's crashed on them. God bless you, Pluto. I love you, brother. Keep pushing forward. Keep going for your walks. Josh, you guys are lucky. It's been raining for 2 days. That's a disaster. Straight here in Chicago. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Yeah, I went through that last week in New Jersey. Almost lost my mind. I almost went nuts. The weather plays a part in my mental health. That's why I want to live in Florida. Okay. Now, I'll be a snowbird maybe as far as like for a couple weeks or a couple months, but I want to be in the Sunshine State, not the Garden State. The Garden State is New Jersey. The Sunshine State is Florida. Florida has some of the best sun in the country. Arizona has a lot of sun too, but doesn't have ocean. Sun equals vitamin D. Vitamin D increases your immune system. Vitamin D is crucial. So remember, who I heard someone today say, well, I'm not sure all the facts, so I don't want to say that. JV, how do you stealth park? Well, now it's a little bit harder. I mean, one is I don't stealth park in residential. So for me, everyone defines stealth parking different. But for me, that would be at a truck stop. That would maybe be at a Walmart that allows a one-night overstay. Maybe at a Planet Fitness that would allow it. They're all shut down now. So that's how I would consider self-parking with a lot of movement. Everyone has their own hustle on that and their own way to look at it. So, again, I'm not out there making citizens arrests. And unless you abuse it or unless you're parked in a residential area, I've never really seen people have major problems on the road. And I've had the police knock on my car at rec stops, but only like maybe 3 times out of 3 years. And it wasn't anything disrespectful. It was just like, look, it's been that like some rest stops only allow you to sleep for 3 hours. And there are some state troopers that just every 3 hours they run around, they knock on doors. So, that's kind of what I would tell you. Josh, I camp at Megastore parking lot, quiet and no one cares. There you go. Josh, I also am in a safe area. Got to be in a safe area. Good job. In the suburbs, okay? Carrie, it's cold. Carrie, I'm praying for you because that cold weather, I know it drives you crazy. But Carrie, hang in there. This Friday is May. It's going to get warmer. Hang in there, Carrie. BRN, I feel you about winter in the Northeast. What a disaster. I'm sick and tired of it. I've met a lot of people in Massachusetts, whether it's Boston or the suburbs of Massachusetts, and they feel the same way. And Florida is in their vision. And there's a lot of people from Massachusetts that live in Florida. And it'll be the best decision you ever make, at least for the winter. It's horrible winters. Massachusetts is a disaster. Looking forward to moving within 3-5 years. Well, BRN, never look back and don't think you're doing the wrong thing. Because I don't know anyone that moves to Florida, especially at least just for the winter, and then wants to move back. So some people move to Florida and then they do end up leaving because they don't like the hot summers or they didn't. The problem with moving to Florida is like if you don't visit first and if you don't visit the different areas in Florida, Florida is a huge state. Massachusetts is a smaller state. So you have to visit the East Coast, the West Coast, the South, the North. Different parts of Florida have different culture. There's 2 parts of an environment, climate and culture. So a lot of people only come to Florida because they want climate, and they don't understand the culture. So they may move to Ocala, Florida. They may move to, wherever, a bad neighborhood or just a area that has low culture. And then they don't understand why they're not happy. Because you really have to investigate the land, spy out the land before you inhabit the land. So, make a mental note. I visited Florida for 2-3 years at different times of the year at different parts of the state before I found my exact spot. And that's why now I'm looking at property because, I kind of know where I stay. Pluto. I play relaxing Georgian meditation. I'm shout out to the Georgian woman I met down in Palm Beach County. She gave me a coconut for free. Every night it helps me very much. Pluto, I can tell you right now, soothing instrumental music will change your life, or at least put you to sleep. I agree with that. Josh, I love it, Nomad. I personally listen to chill hop, Lafa chill hop, or lounge music to relax. Okay, I never heard of that. Ice Thesis. I couldn't imagine people wearing those masks on the beach, right? The heat would make me pass out. Yeah, especially in the summer. That's interesting. I don't know how this is going to play out, Ice Thesis. Love to you, brother. Shout out to you and your mother, man. Shout out to Baltimore. God bless you, Ice Thesis. Juliana, shout out to Australia. Love to you. I know I'm skipping, but let me just read Juliana because I know she's watching me late in Australia. It's like past midnight or midnight in Australia. Right now it's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. Juliana says, hey, Sam, do you have a private mail forwarding company to get your virtual street address? Well, I don't disclose how I have my address, but some people do it through the mail forwarding. Some people use someone's address they know. So you legally can use a mail forwarding service. So you can do it. There's videos on it on YouTube. I just kind of keep that private not because I don't want to answer your question, but what I've learned through YouTube is there's people out there that take your personal information and they'll use it to hurt you. And just like everything in life, right? Like Beyonce doesn't tell you, Donald Trump doesn't tell you look, we don't even know Donald Trump's tax returns. So you have to keep some things private just for your well-being. So I can't say exactly what I do. I don't want to. But I can say that, yes, mail forwarding can be used. There's a company called Escapees that's in Texas. There's a company in North Dakota. There's companies all throughout the country that do it. And so you can do a simple search on YouTube and find out how. They'll go step by step. And that would be the best answer I could give you, Juliana, while still respecting my own need for privacy, but not because I want to be hurtful or not answer you directly. I think that's very important. If I teach you anything, you have to keep some stuff private, guys, because it's like a gossipy aunt. If your aunt always gossips, they always want to ask about what's going on in your family, with your children, with your life, but they never tell you about their dysfunctional family. So it's just like YouTube. Like there's people with fake profiles. They want to know about how do you get your driver's license, how do you do your tax returns, and they got like 20 different profiles. Guys, I respect that you need 20 different profiles to keep your privacy. And you have to respect that even public people have to keep some privacy. It's healthy. And I tell you, it's very unhealthy to be a YouTuber because you share a lot of your privacy. There's a lot of people that are scared of 5G because it's going to invade privacy. So I understand that we sacrifice some privacy for some rewards, and that's fine, or some conveniences. But there's some level of privacy you have to keep, okay? Because it's healthy, okay? And if someone can understand that, then you should hand them the thumbs down button and let them press it until their mind goes numb. Just say, look, just knock your head against that thumbs down button until you get happy. Because I ain't telling you that shit. And not you, Juliana, but this is just what I feel. Jennifer, 84, very nice, not hot with a light, wide Florida. I love those Florida emojis, Jennifer. God bless all my Floridians. Steve, what's up, Sam? What's up? I agree with the instruments. I have the Calm app. Good. Helps me relax before going to sleep. Good job, Steve. You got it, brother. Daniel, what's up? Please do a video on sparking. Please do a video on stealth camping. Please do a video on, you're saying parking? Why do you leave Florida? Sorry if I missed it. I've done videos on stealth camping. I've done videos on campgrounds. I've done videos on why I've left Florida. So I can answer why I left Florida now because I'm here visiting my elderly mother. The stealth camping stuff and the campground stuff, you could just look at my playlist, Nomad Simple Living, because that will give you the visual reference. And hopefully that answers your questions. Pluto, laughing good. Yeah, when Norma found out her ex got the COVID, I guarantee you she wasn't crying. Josh, not that I wished it on him. Yeah. Josh, Norma probably beamed with smile. Well, look, let's be honest. Please do a video on stealth. God bless you. Masha, there are natural ways to quickly heal disease, infection, and potence. Americans only rely on doctors. Well, what are those ways? Because you definitely don't want to rely on a YouTuber or a comment section. So I do believe you want to rely on your diet and your routine and your exercise habits. Your diet, what you feed your body, is your number one way to increase your health. Your exercise is a secondary way, and your environment, the quality of air and relationships. Your quality of relationships matter. Your stress matters. Guys, if you're eating fruits and vegetables, but you're in a relationship with someone who's unhealthy for you, you're destroying your immune system. So I do wholly agree, Masha, on a comprehensive way to look at health. I do agree, just like people like my mother, she can't help herself. Like she's always going to struggle with food. There's some people that struggle with cigarettes. Some people struggle with food. Some people struggle with alcohol. Some people just struggle with relationships. So I don't look down on people we all have vices. So, but I do agree with your mindset. If you have a level of discipline, the comprehensive way to look at health, mind, body, soul, what you eat, who you keep in your life, that's number one, numero uno. Doctors are secondary last resort if you need someone to intercede. So I definitely agree with the essence of your comment. Thank you. Pluto. Daniel, he left to visit his mother during the coronavirus. Thank you. Marin. Norma, stay safe. Masha, everything outside of going to the doctor, Americans laugh at. I don't laugh at it. I'm an American, but our immune system is not as strong as it could be. Yeah, I don't laugh at that. I used to be obese. I lost 200 pounds. I didn't have a personal trainer. I didn't have a doctor do any surgery on me, but I have known people that did have a personal trainer and did have doctors. They had surgery. So everyone's different, but I can tell you right now, I mean, I agree with your essence, but I don't agree that all Americans, I do agree that it's an American philosophy. But I think one is, look, America doesn't care about healthcare. That's why we don't have universal healthcare, but we have oil subsidies. So, guys, look, the American people vote for that. They vote for Donald Trump. They vote for a capitalist, not a compassionate person. They don't want Jesus. They want Judas. Okay, so, guys, in America, it's about the dollar bill, man. So, like I tell you, like, it's about Wu-Tang Clan. It's about cream. But however, I'm going to step back from that statement and also say that America has a lot of blessings. America's been good to me. I mean, there's parts of America, that are a blessing. So I believe in reform, not revolution. But I'm not going to not speak up about reform. I'm not going to move to Canada because it's too cold, but I think the Canadians have it. I think Canadians have a lot more compassionate, unified country than America. Okay. So I don't think there's anything wrong if you're humble. If you believe in Jesus, you should be humble, right? I don't think and even Donald Trump was quoted to say this before he ran, that we may need to look at something like what Canada does for universal health care. So, guys, the only reason Canadians come down here is for the weather, okay? They go to Florida, or they want to travel around. Because, look, Canadian, as far as, like, the weather, it sucks. But I don't know why you wouldn't look at other countries and say, you know what? They're doing this good, let's do that good, okay? So I just think we could do better, okay? I'm thankful for America. I acknowledge that, okay? But part of being a good citizen is, one, abiding by the laws. I abide by all the laws. I've never been arrested. I pay my taxes. I've had a nonprofit. I've worked in communities. So for me, I'm going to speak up about what I see improvement on. I'm not going to be some psychopath on YouTube talking about socialists is destroying the country. Bill Gates is the devil. Okay? Because if you look at these people's life, they're the devil. Look at their life and what they do with their life and how they live and how they act and how they deal with people. And you can't feel guilty for doing the right thing. And that's what a lot of people try to guilt trip you because they don't feel good about themselves. That's truth. Like, so spite, man. If one thing I think America and the world, and I know I learned in the past 3-4 years, not just with the president, but what people have that mindset, is spite is deep. Spite runs deep in the soul of many people. Whether it's your ex-husband or your president or your father. Spite is the sign of a corrupt soul. It's the sign of, you can say it's the sign of the devil, spite. What is spite? Spite is saying, I know it's not the right thing, morally, ethically, or fairly. However, I'm going to do it anyway because either I want you to feel my pain or I don't give a fuck about you, or that's the way it always is and I'm not going to change. Spite is the most unevolved, primitive, nasty characteristic of the human. It's what causes wars. It's what causes Holocaust. Spite is the devil. It's a spirit of hating that which is good and justifying what is bad, either based on what you were brought up to know, following what was to be, or doing something so heinous just to prove a point. Spite, I'm telling you right now, if I didn't tell you anything, and if you never watch my channel again, if you ever deal with anyone in your personal life that is spiteful towards you, never feel guilty for cutting them out. I don't care if they did good things for you. I don't care if they paid for your college. I don't care if they saved you from a burning building. If in return you owe them your soul, they're the devil. Because God gives and he never asks for it back. Okay. God's a giver. Spite's a taker. Okay. And I'm going to take a hydration break because I'm going to listen to Jay Bird because I felt the fire of the Lord in that one. Oh, shit. Let's continue to read. Where are we at? BRN at Masha. That's very true. Yes, I agree with the essence of what Masha was saying. I just tried to provide some balance, but I do agree with the essence of what she was saying. But part of that is beyond just doctors. America has an unhealthy society because Wendy's, KFC, Chipotle, publicly traded corporations have fed the fast food life. Okay. We live the fast food life because we're working in the rat race. Both parents are usually working in a household. And, it's a cycle. Housing prices go up. They don't want to give you basic services because they think that's socialist. So you're caught, and the corporations, the same ones that are getting socialized by the government, they're the one feeding you. You look at again, KFC, McDonald's, all these big companies that feed America. That's the problem. If you want to change the healthcare system, here's what you do. You ban cigarettes immediately because they kill 500,000 people a year. It's the most dangerous legal drug ever created. You ban cigarettes immediately and you put social distancing in fast food restaurants, meaning that beyond, you can't just have 6 people sit next to each other. You can't have 2 fast food establishments within 60 miles of each other. Now, for some people, they don't want that, so, I don't know. But that's my opinion. I know some people disagree with that. I say, look, people should be able to kill themselves if they want. People should be able to go from the Burger King drive-thru, turn right out of it and turn right into a McDonald's drive-thru and eat again. And I say, yeah, technically they could. Ride around with their gun, go get McDonald's, then Burger King, and then smoke a cigarette. Do I think that's right? No. Do I think that's smart? No. Do I think that's a good way to have a society structure? No. Especially considering we subsidize the taxpayer, these corporations. Okay? However, change takes generations. And if you want to know what America is, you look at its constitution. And you look at, for 200 years, there's certain segments of our society, whether it's women, minorities, etc., that had to fight for things that were in the founding documents. So it's like, it should be a better way, but you had to fight for even what you were supposedly guaranteed the day it opened up. So, again, America has made great progress. America better than a lot of other places you can be in this world. So I don't bash America, but I believe still in there's a lot of reform in how we look at society, and how we allocate our resources. If people really hated Bill Gates, and they think he's the devil for doing vaccines. Well, guys, how'd Bill Gates make his money back? Okay. Now, I don't think he made it badly. I mean, I think Microsoft has provided a lot of good service to society. Microsoft Office and Microsoft Word, Excel, I think those are all positive things. So I'm not going to say that he's a bad capitalist. And I see him trying to do good with his resources. However, I mean, obviously there may be some things in his life that I don't know. Maybe he's a horrible hypocrite. I don't know. But all I can go is what I do know and what I do see. But he's looked like he's made his money. I'm sure he's crooked a little bit making that much money, but he made his money and giving a good service to society. I mean, Microsoft, again, that program helps a lot of people, a lot of businesses. And then he cashed out and he's running a nonprofit to help not just America, but the entire world deal with health before the pandemic. So if Bill Gates is the devil and Donald Trump is the Messiah, I don't know. I don't know how we get to that conclusion. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how we formulate that thought process. But then I get to a point where it's like, you can't have a rational conversation with too many people because a lot of people are not rational. Where are we at? Marin, COVID is spreading by being airborne. That's true. If it's windy, more distancing required. Love you guys. Well, we love you too, Marin. Sarah told us that back in the day, yeah, it was airborne. Daniel, do you sleep in the driver's seat? No. And do you cover the windows at night? Yes. Juliano, I love you, and I'm praying for you, your daughters, and your mother. Love to you, Juliano. BRN. Culture is so important. I didn't understand the importance of it. It's very important. You're right. Your lifestyle relies on culture and climate. You can be with great people, but in my opinion, if you're in Antarctica, for me, I mean, so there may be some people that like Antarctica. I would die. I may could survive, but my mind would totally disintegrate. However, you can be in Florida, but you can be around a bunch of nasty people, and it could be horrible. So your environment is climate and culture. You can change your environment. You can move out of your house. You can live by yourself. And I think for some people, not all, I think for some people, you're better living in your car in a parking lot than in a house that's nasty, contentious, and fighting. Obviously, I think the long-term objective for everyone is to live in an area where they like the climate and overall like the people. And they have a sanctuary. They have somewhere where they can go home, whether it's their vehicle, whether it's their RV, or whether it's their house. That is a quality of life. Quality of life is what keeps you from going nuts. Why are people going nuts during the coronavirus? Because their quality of life has gone down and they're dealing with foundational issues in their lifestyle that was covered up through the rat race. So you say, Sam, I don't understand. Like, I know America's good, but I don't understand why so many Americans are caught in a rat race. Well, one is it's very seductive because you're just following a pattern when you're, and I got caught in a rat race when you're young and you just say, well, this is the steps I take to succeed and I automatically go to this college, take out this debt, buy this house, marry this person, have a kid, take a promotion, even if I don't like the job. Yeah, so, and then I buy stuff because I make more money and then I just keep going. And I'm never home. Both people are working. Valerie, $9.99 super chat. Great talk today, Sam. Good night, Sam. Well, Valerie from Oregon that once lived in New Jersey has a good testimony on how she overcame and how she's trying to overcome on a daily basis to keep her sanity and her well-being. Valerie, love to you. Continue to put self-care in the top priority of your life because it matters. Thank you, Valerie. Great to see you and love to you. And thank you for sharing your story today. But the rat race starts through following a pattern of most of society. Like I told you, even last night, someone shamed me for living in my car. Mr. Smith, check out Valerie from Oregon. I really appreciated that both of you exchanged pleasantries today and shown some just mutual respect. Like I told you guys from the beginning, both of you have treated me with respect, and I'm glad that both of you are vibing. So, Mr. Smith and Valerie, thank you both, and love to you both. Thank you. Well, like I was saying, even last night, someone shamed me because they disagree with me politically. So the first thing they threw in my face, like, well, screw you. You live in a car. I don't want to hear your shit. And I said, wow, I didn't know that, where you live determines your thought, your value of thought, and your value to society. But for some people, it's true. That's what they look at. But for me, I don't fall for it because I've had a nice house. I've had luxury cars. And to me, two things. One is you can have those things and you could be a scumbag. Two is those things, if they're not what you want to do and you're just getting them to prove to someone else that you have value, you're living their life. And I did that after a certain point, and it's horrible life to live on someone else's expectation. And then the final thing is, guys, when the coronavirus hits and you're not on the rat race, you could tell someone what you really think politically in your personal life, not your professional. And hey guys, look, I'm not on the hook to you financially. I don't have to suck your dick for $1. So being yourself is the essence of self-care. Again, there's a different etiquette for your professional life when you're working. Okay, you have to work with all people. When you're in your personal life, if you're not yourself, if you're like Caitlyn Jenner and you have to wear women's clothes in the closet and then you're shamed when you come out, it's not worth living. And that's why eventually, like Caitlyn Jenner, she came out because she couldn't hold it in anymore. Okay. However, just because you're a transgender don't mean you're a good person, because I've seen some transgenders on YouTube that they're nasty people. I said, damn. So all I'm trying to tell you is whether it's your sexual orientation, your political philosophy, or just who you are, in your personal life, you have to be able to be yourself. And in society, you should have the right to be yourself as long as what you're doing is not hurting someone else. But why do I advocate that if you're in an unhealthy relationship, get a divorce? Because you can't be yourself. An unhealthy marriage is they resent you, you resent them, and being yourself is not good enough for one another. That's a horrible way to live for both people. I'm not taking the man's side. I'm not taking the woman's side. I think for both men and women, it's a devastating thing to your soul to go into your sanctuary, your house, and deal with someone that you know they don't like you, you don't like them, you resent each other, and there's hate and spite. That's not healthy. That's going to destroy your confidence and destroy your creativity. How can you do the things that you're called to do with your life when your confidence is suffocated with an unhealthy, contentious spirit in a relationship? Because your whole time you're replaying their thoughts in your mind. Like, oh, you should do this, you should be like this. And so now you hear their thoughts in your mind more than your own thoughts. Your mind is your sanctuary above all else. If your mind is playing someone else's thoughts more than your own, you're screwed. You're going nuts. Now, I'm not advocating your voice should be the only voice. That's narcissism, okay? You have to be humble enough to know that you don't know everything, okay? The battle of the mind, the battle of life, even before the coronavirus, was a very real thing. It gets realer as you get older because you're more responsible for it. When you're growing up and you're in high school like I did, I mean, you have fun years. You don't have a lot of responsibility. Your parents are responsible for it, and then as you get older, you have to figure out what you want to do. But it matters how you live. It matters who you live with. The impact of your life matters, but you have to be in a whole place. Very hard for a broken person to be happy. If you're not happy to a certain extent, I don't think you can fulfill your destiny. I think the joy of the Lord is your strength. And for me, if God lives inside you, your happiness is your strength. That's why it matters to go to your happy place. If your happy place is a beach bungalow in Florida or wherever, you need to spend, that's where you're called to go. Because the happier you are, the more confident and creative you are. The more miserable you are, you go downhill quick. We're talking about keeping your sanity. We're talking about living your best life. We're talking about how do you keep yourself from going nuts. We're talking about things that will always face you even long after the coronavirus. Let's take hydration break. Daniel says, thank you, Pluto. Ice says, if I couldn't walk, this whole situation would be a lot harder. I totally agree. And that's why I feel for my mom, because she's like 73. She's got diabetes. She's overweight. She can barely walk. So for me, I walk to relieve stress and to get exercise. My mom could barely walk. And that's why she's got more problems dealing with, anxiety, depression, and stress. But what I tell my mom is what I tell any person who's elderly or hurting with their legs: walk as much as you can. Use your cane. And even if you got to be, I told my mom I wheel her in a wheelchair, and times I do. Move as much as you can. Keep your blood flowing. You have a vasculatory system, meaning your system is basically a bunch of pipe work. Your veins are pipes, and you have to keep the water flowing through your pipes. That's your blood. Your blood, when it goes through your body, it delivers oxygen and nutrients to your cells. When your blood is stagnant, your cells are not getting that proper amount of oxygen and nutrients. So movement is life. Movement allows your blood to go through your pipes. And you need that. And that's why they say, they recommend that when you work out, you get your heart rate up a little bit, because it pumps blood through your body, which kind of heals your body. And that's very important. And then he goes, I feel for the paralyzed. Me too. Elderly. Me too. I just spoke on that. And the injured people who lost their mobility. Me and you on the same mindset, brother. Because something so basic as walking saved my life. Damn it, Ice Thesis. Thumbs up to you, brother. Masha, I really love hanging out with you. Love to you too. Thank you for adding to the live chat. Thank you for your positive mindset, and thank you. Because, the live chat's only as good as the people who come in here. And that's why I take it serious. And I'm very thankful for the good people. Marin, she gave the yoga emoji, thumbs up. Milford Motors, I'm not mad at that. Yeah, put that dash in the middle. Milford-Motors.com is closed unless you make an appointment. Well, I thank you for letting the people know. Go to the website, call Tom. We do not own the business. Okay. Wouldn't want to mislead anyone. Thank you for telling us, Marin. And we want to support you because you've been supportive. So we love you. Ice Thesis, do you think I should reach out to a friend who is struggling heavily during this time, or should I let him deal with it by himself? Good question. I want to answer that in two ways. I think in general speaking terms, you should periodically reach out to friends or family, only a few that you know that you're on the same wavelength with, and just have a quick 5-10 minute conversation. That's healthy. Now, if you're going to reach out to someone you know you're not on the same wavelength with, you have different views on life, you have to be very cautious, because they can snarl you into the devastation of a bad mindset. So for the couple good friends that you have, yes, call them periodically, once a week, once every other week. For the people that you may like, but they're going through a bad time, like the scripture says, be very careful when you try to get someone out of sin, for you yourself may get caught up in their sin. I would tell you not to, on average, only if you really feel passionate about calling someone and you know that you have to set up boundaries and not stay on the phone too long. That'd be my advice. Invisible Compass, positive guy. What's up, Sam? Sun and rain, ain't that the truth? There was a song about that. Sunshine and rain. Wasn't there a song about that? Juliana. Love to you again, Juliana. Shout out to Australia. I saw some YouTubers that use mail forwards. Yes, you can do that. But I agree there's more than one. I respect that you keep it private. Thank you, Juliana. You know I respect you also, and I love you. Whatever you say may be used against you, especially by nasty trolls. It's true. It's sad, but it's true. And it's just a general rule of life, not even just like YouTube, is that you always have to have some level of your life that you're able to keep private. Obviously, I think the more you can share, the more you can help others. But you have to know what's good for your mental health and your well-being. So everyone has a different balance. But I think definitely the more you share your life, the more you're vulnerable to attacks. Even if it's not like a physical attack, it may just be an emotional attack. your emotional and mental health is serious. So for me, there's certain aspects that I still want to keep a level of privacy to, for the simple reason of it's for my well-being. And that's self-respect. I think anyone who's fair and watches my channel, even if they don't like me, I am very direct. I answer questions very directly. So I don't think I'm trying to be like over political. However, I am setting an example that for some things in your life, you have to keep private. I'm not saying like, maybe you'll have a YouTube channel and you'll share about that, but there may be other things you wouldn't. So I'm just speaking in general terms, but thank you, Juliana, for understanding. Alexander, hey, Sam. Sitting here on the nature coast, shout out to Florida, watching this tide come in. That's awesome. I missed that. See, that's a big quality of life. Man, that almost made me a little bit depressed. At the end of every day in Florida, one is I would fully submerge in the Atlantic Ocean, fully submerge every day. And I would watch the sunset pretty much over the ocean. Wow, man, that took me back. Alexander, you enjoy, brother. I'm going to be back soon. So he's watching the sun set, wondering what our life will be like in 6 months. Well, Alexander, the good news is you're enjoying today, and that's a blessing from the Lord. So God bless you and everyone in beautiful Florida. Giuliano, I was looking into other ways to get mail and packages other than a post office box. Yeah, in my general research, when I researched it, it's a mail forwarding service. It's using someone, whether it's a family member or friend, using their address. I would personally not recommend that unless it was maybe like your mother or something like that, because I try to live my life detached or less dependent on other people as much as possible. And that kind of marries me to someone. I don't want to be married to anyone. So I try to do things independently. So mail forwarding, someone you know's address, which I don't recommend. Buying a piece of property. Well, Juliana, you could use your property, right? Because don't you own a small piece of property that even though you rent it out, you should still be able to use that for your mail. But I don't know how Australia works. It may be different. Daniel, I like your thumbnails. Thank you. I once didn't have thumbnails, but I've been over the course of the past year or so, I've definitely gotten better. Thank you. Do you, I do all the artwork. Yeah, I do everything on my channel myself, and I do everything from my phone. I don't have any fancy software. I have all free downloaded apps on my phone, and I just do everything off my phone. I don't have a GoPro. I don't have a microphone. I just hit my phone, hit record. I have a couple free editing programs on my phone, but they're basic and pretty basic. Your channel is growing. I'm very thankful that my channel is growing. Thank you for being a fan and for watching. It would grow more if I didn't block people and if I wasn't so abrupt. But I wanted to grow on my terms, on me being myself and keeping my peace. But like I always tell you, anyone who's interested in anything in life, showing up consistently, evolving yourself, growing, learning, getting better at thumbnails and editing, and then getting a little lucky, and then setting a standard for how you want to grow and how fast you're willing to grow and willing to compromise, that's going to determine a level of your end game. So I am thankful for where I'm at now. You always want more. You always wish you had 100,000 subscribers. Then you wish you probably had 1 million. So I try to remember that now when I get like antsy that my channel's not growing fast enough. I remember when I had like under 10 subscribers. Getting 100 subscribers was a huge accomplishment. And then I almost gave up when I had 150 because it stopped growing. And then I got to 1,000. And then it just goes from there. But subscribers mean nothing as far as monetization. Everything comes from views, super chats, etc. Because subscribers do mean something, because that's at least people care enough to subscribe. And then there's a certain percentage of them that will watch your regular videos, whether it's 1% or 10%. Out of your subscribers, you get anywhere from 0.5% to 10%. They'll watch your regular videos. But YouTube is a long-term play. It's not going to happen overnight for most people. I mean, there are some exceptions, right? So I'm thankful for it. Like I say, it takes a toll on you. So you have to learn to disconnect and keep some things private, have some boundaries. Like everything in life, there's nothing in life that just gives and never takes. Everything in life is give and take. Everything in life is a trade-off. And everyone is different. So I'm not saying my way is the best way for everyone. I'm only trying to share my way and share some general principles. Is that every decision you make in life and everything you decide to do, whether it's YouTube, a job, a relationship, buying something, you're exchanging something. Whether you're exchanging money, your time, your privacy, and you're getting something in return. Okay? Whether you're getting monetization, you're getting a blowjob, you're getting a cookie. So everything in life is a give and take. The question for you as an individual with your own fingerprint, you have a different fingerprint than every person in the world. The question for you is, what are you willing to give and get? And what is the balance of your life? Now, I and other people can inspire you, but only you can give that final answer because you have a different fingerprint than me, and vice versa. And so that's the journey that we're all on in this world, trying to keep our sanity while finding a balance to get us through the storms of life to make it to the promised land. And to me, the promised land is the upper room. Because look, I'm thankful for this world. I'm thankful for America. I'm thankful for all the countries that are in the live chat. But I don't love the world. I could be lying to you. I don't love this world. Okay, so I want to make this world a little bit better. I want to live a good life and a long life as far as to a certain extent. But, at the same time, I don't like cling to the world. It's just not who I am. So that'd be my thought. Juliano, I agree, Daniel. Sam's thumbnails are very digitally creative. Thank you very much, Juliano. And thank you, Daniel. Alexander, Canadians buy insurance to travel here. I don't know anything about that, so I couldn't speak on that. I know I have a couple great Canadian viewers, but thank you for the comment, Alexander. I don't know enough about it to go back and forth on. Thank you. Masha, it's actually simple. I just don't want to laugh at me. Well, hey, that's okay. I don't know what we were laughing at. I love you. Nicole, great video, Sam. Thank you so much. Thank you. I can't wait for that video. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate people who watch. Thank you, Nicole. You always give positive, uplifting comments. Thank you. Yvette, hey, Yvette. I'm using this free time in extreme self-care. Well, Yvette, 100 emoji. I don't think you can ever go wrong with self-care. Self-care is the ultimate calling on your life. So good job. Jay Bird, that's a girl. Hydration break. God bless you, Jay Bird, and all my Floridians. You know you're my favorites as far as Florida. Alexander, bullseye on spite. Oh, yeah, I nailed that one. How do we as society reduce the prevalence of spite? That's a great question. Well put. By being the light, by speaking up and not being bullied. A bully wants you to bow down. So speak up. Don't engage in physical violence, but speak up. Have self-respect and don't be allowed to be belittled. You can only be belittled if you give someone power of your mind, your confidence, and your willingness to speak up and vote. And look, vote and vote. 50% of Americans who can vote don't vote. If you can vote and you don't vote, big mistake. Okay, big mistake, guys. And if you say, look, I don't like Trump, but I don't want to vote for Biden. Well, guys, if I go into a store and I'm thirsty and they say, look, we have this small bottle and this big bottle. Do I say, I don't want any bottle because I don't like either one and then I'm going to die of thirst? No. I'm going to select the bottle that best serves, in my opinion, a better society. And if Joe Biden's running on Medicare at 60, which would help the working class increase dignity and I think be better for society, I'm going to vote. I'm going to buy a bottle of water. I'm not going to cut off my nose to spite my face. I'm not going to not vote for anyone to spite society. I'm going to vote. There may not be a perfect choice, but for me, there's a better choice based on better policy and a better mindset. No perfect choice ever. So that's kind of how I look at life and how I reason. Good job. Masha, would you give a girl a golden shower if she asked for it? That's interesting. A golden shower means you pee on a girl. And obviously R. Kelly did that. Some people said Donald Trump did that. And I've seen that I've seen it on porn. It's not my thing. Let me say that first. So peeing and defecating on someone's not my thing. If she asked for it and I loved her, I would consider it. Because look, if you're in bed and someone wants to do it, I'm an accommodator. I mean, I want to see them get off. And again, I mean, if that's something they want to do, I mean, I used to know a girl, she liked S&M, like, but I wasn't into that, and I really didn't do it. So, I mean, I would never like do like some crazy stuff I see I'm not into. So, with regards to a golden shower, I don't have any preference for it. But if I was in a loving relationship and she wanted me to do it, I would probably do it. But I like being single and not having to deal with that because that's a big decision. And it's a hard enough decision, figure out to vote for Joe Biden. So I don't have to worry about golden shower too. Good comment, Masha. I'm blowing you a kiss. Well, blow back to you. And hey, I'll give you a golden shower virtually because I ain't responsible for that. Masha, I'm blowing you a kiss. Well, thank you. Juliana, I enjoy watching this channel because of how clean it is. Well, I think it's a little dirty. We were just talking about golden shower. I know you do house cleaning. Oh, yeah. Well, you mean clean as far as a clean heart and clean soul. Well, that's right. Guys, I clean this house every day. My channel would be double the size if I didn't block people. But you got to have some standard, and I agree. And I love you, Juliano, and I appreciate you. Valerie, thank you again for that gracious tip. And thank you for sharing your story with me today. And thank you for the peacemaking with you and Mr. Smith. And Mr. Smith, thank you also for that tip. I appreciate all your support and all your comments and you also sharing your life. Thank you, guys. Mr. Smith, the guy who called Sam out for living in his car probably still lives with his parents. Even if he doesn't, even if he's Donald Trump rich, to me, I don't know why you think that makes you a better person. Because, guys, look, I mean, I've seen both in life, and to me, it don't really mean, I mean, it's great that you have money, but whether you don't have money or you do, to me, that don't really matter about what you're saying. But again, the person who said it, they watch other YouTubers live out of their car. That I see them in every comment section of every person living in their car. One is they love the lifestyle, but it was just a defense mechanism from him just to outlash. But thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Mr. Smith. You are a good guy. Thank you for that, Mr. Smith and Valerie. Tom, one finger up. Hey, I'm working here. Well, Tom working hard in California. Tom, don't tell him where you're going to be at next fall. Don't tell him what campground. I'll see you there, though, brother. Love to you, Tom. All my hard-working mechanics out there. Julian out. Thank you, Sam. It's a Mother's Day. Oh, this coming Sunday, is it? Is that in Australia or America? Let me look that up. I appreciate you telling me. Let me see when Mother's Day is in America. Let me see. Mother's Day? Mother's Day 2020. I'm Googling on my laptop. So, in America, United States of America, Mother's Day in 2020 is Sunday, May 10th. So that's not this Sunday for America. It's next Sunday. So let's see what Juliana's saying in Australia. It's Mother's Day this coming Sunday in Australia. And she's still in quarantine lockdown. But I know she's safe to a degree. Good. We have to agree to be belated Mother's Day. I agree. Keep your distance. But try to get her, like, does she have a smartphone where you can FaceTime her? I've been trying to get my mom to get a smartphone so that, God forbid something would happen, we could always FaceTime. Happy Mother's Day to you and to your mother. Mr. Smith, Sam, you should start a dick pic online store called Inspirational Nomad. Well, guys, I'll tell you right now, if you got 20 G's, I'll send you a dick pic. I love it, man. Mr. Smith, thanks, Valley. Keep being free. Amen to that. Amen to that. Masha, golden shower sounds nasty. I know I'm American. I don't. That's not really nasty to me, necessarily, not my thing, but I don't think that's like a horrible thing. But it's also very healthy. Americans have little understanding. Well, it sounds like you like it. I'm not mentioning. But there's more. I won't gross out. No, look, guys, I've seen porn. I don't watch that type of crazy porn. I watch more like stepmom porn or, MILF porn, cream pie porn. I don't watch like golden shower porn. Not my thing, but I'm not disgusted by it necessarily. Obviously, if you force it on someone, or if like R. Kelly, you did it with an underage girl, then that's a different story. But if it's two mutual people in a bedroom, guys, I don't care if it's two guys, two girls taking a golden shower, regular shower, that's personal decision. But there's more. I won't gross you out. I keep it to myself. Thanks for not laughing. No, yeah, I'm not mad if you like the golden shower. Lala. Liquid ass spray on Amazon. People buy stuff. Liquid ass spray? Damn. It's popping tonight, man. Juliano. 100 at Mr. Smith, freedom is everything. Amen, God. Juliana, I hope you're still in here. Juliana left an excellent comment on one of my videos the other day. I really appreciate it. I pinned it to the top of my comment section. She said, Sam, I know you get crap sometimes because you haven't bought a house yet, you haven't bought an RV. But I admire you, Sam, because you know that your number one asset is not being on the hook to other people. I'm paraphrasing her comment, but I totally agree, and that's why I've been like how I've been. Now, I do say maybe I should have did this or that because I had a couple decent opportunities to buy either a home base or RV, but I've always told you guys I will default to not buying. And I would even consider renting a short-term apartment before committing to something long-term I didn't like. Because rental is better than mortgage for short-term. Because rental, you're not married. If you rent for a couple months and you don't like it, you could leave. Instead of buying a $100,000 RV or a $50,000 RV, if you needed a sanctuary to get through the quarantine, rent. And then after then see what you want to do. So, but keep as much flexibility as you can so you are controlled the least. Now, at some point, you have to bite the bullet. Like, I remember, there was this one guy I used to work with, and he knew about what I was trying to do. He knew me when I lived in the house and when I sold everything. And from time to time, he would ask me, what's going on? And I said, yeah, I'm still living in my car. He goes, and I told him, but I am looking at a house or a home base or something. And he goes, Sam, at some point you're going to have to bite the bullet. And he goes, but hang in there as long as you can. But when we were talking about the term bite the bullet, it means at some point you have to commit. Well, you don't have to, but if you commit to something, you're caught in an obligation with commitment, maintenance, and recurring costs. And as you get caught in that cycle, it does take away a level of your freedom. However, look, you don't want to die with the money bag. You want the money bag to live life on your terms, but you want to balance it out so you live a life that has a good quality of life. And that's where I'm at now on my journey. My biggest concern now is that I don't go through summers and winters without climate control. Climate control affects your immune system when you're dealing with extreme heat or extreme cold. And I'm at the point now where I have to be very careful with that because I feel that's causing a negative effect on my well-being, and it's not worth what I'm trying to save. And so that's why I'm trying to strategically look at adding some comfort to balance out my life. Because right now I'm very extreme minimalist. Guys, other than walking around, guys, I am the bottom of extremism with regards to minimalism, okay? So, at some point I'm going to come up a little bit. I'm not going to go back up to 2 houses, 2 cars. But I'm going to come up somewhere, whether it's a fully self-contained RV or a home base or just renting short term to add some balance. Okay. Now, again, I'm going to be 40 this year. You could keep doing this maybe into your 60s, maybe longer. Again, there's been some people that commented on my channel. They're in their 30s and they say, I'm going to do this forever, but they're living in an apartment. So every time someone tells me they love car life, they love car living, I ask them 2 questions. How long? Well, one is, do you even live in your car? And how long have you lived in your car? And usually the answer is they don't, they did, or they're not right now, or they're in an apartment right now. Very few people are full-time living on the road. Even a smaller percentage are living out of their car or van without a self-contained RV. Long-term, 24/7, 365, even through a pandemic, even through a hurricane, they're not doing it. Okay. So I'm saying that to make the point, when you're at this extreme level, you can't really take advice for someone who's not living this extreme level. Especially people that tell you, keep living extreme, keep living extreme. Now, I agree with the mindset of stay as free as possible, as long as possible. Because during a pandemic or any other situation, you get laid off or an emergency happens, you don't want to be on the hook to other people because that's when you're screwed. That's when you start a rat race, possibly. So just be careful. Let's continue to read live comments. Sam, why do I lose more weight when I don't lift weights? Good question. I'm going to answer that. Right now, I'm walking twice a day and not lifting weights, and my fat is melting off. Good question. Because when you lift weights, your fat turns to muscle. Muscle is weight, okay? So you're more solid, Okay, and you may even feel better. I feel better because I've same thing. I've lost some of my muscle weight. So you're going to lose weight when you don't work out, but you're going to have low muscle mass, and you may even eat less because when you work out, you have to have a little bit more calories to burn. So it's weight that comes from your muscles. It's good not to depend just on muscles for your health, but you need some level of exercising your muscles. Like right now, you're just exercising your cardiovascular and you're depending on your diet. Your diet is 80%, the vast majority of your weight and health, your diet. 20% is your workout. You should always walk, not just for your physical, but for your mental health. And you should have some small level of weight training. And it has to be smaller as you get older because you can hurt yourself. Because I don't feel as healthy not having any muscle mass. And my muscle mass is pretty much dropped. So you can get skinnier, but skinny doesn't mean healthy. You could be skinny with high blood pressure. You could be skinny with high cholesterol. You could be skinny and stressed out. A crackhead is skinny. So weight isn't the only determination of health. It's one aspect. So that's kind of how I would answer that question. Mr. Smith, Giuliano, yes, never give up your freedom. I agree with the overall mindset. BRN, your channel is awesome. Damn it. Thank you for those sunglass face emojis, and thank you for your comments. My queen is back. Hello, Sam. It's great to have you, queen. Yes, I do love your channel. Well, queen, I also love your channel, and I support it and thumbs up it. Yes, joy and pain. Yeah, you remember that song, queen. Forgive me for saying the name wrong. Scotchta. When you wipe after using the toilet, do you crumble the toilet paper, fold it, or wrap it around your hand? Well, what I do is before I wipe, okay, I wrap it up. I just drop it in. Because one is, I think it's just a wild question. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, but I understand I'm just going to stay positive. I'm going to stay positive. Giuliano, the most damage I've ever done to my life is by oversharing to toxic people before discerning them. Yeah, it's almost like someone asks you, how do you wipe your ass? It's almost like someone wants to know so much because they're so negative and toxic. You can always tell a toxic person by the questions they ask and by the character they are. So it's a battle in life. It really is. Let's continue. Giuliano, like I say, you were 100% right about not sharing too much with too many people. So let's admit, laughing and wow. Oh, yes, wow emoji night. So let's admit, amen. I'm enjoying today. Great job, Judgment. I like being dependent too. Yeah, you like being independent. Queen, I think you are very independent. You go for walks, you color, you do videos. Queen, you're very productive, very independent, and very positive. You're a leader, you're a star. Judgment. What apps do you have, Sam? I have an app on Android, my Android phone, called Thumbnail Maker. It's a free app with ads. And I have an editing app called, I think it's called Edit Video, Video Editor. They're both free, and I get off the Android App Store. Love to talk to you, Mr. Smith. If I give a girl a golden shower, it'll stain my sheets. I'll pass. Yeah, I hear you. It's different things. Like, I've been times where I've been frisky with a girl. She's been on her period. So, yeah, look, when you're getting intimate with someone, there's body fluids exchanged. It's messy. You don't get intimate with someone. Now, I'm not saying you should golden shower or have sex on a period, but, if you're ever going to get intimate with someone, I'm just trying to make the point that you are taking things to the deepest level of intimacy. And so, you shouldn't feel insecurity or shame when you're that intimate. That's when you have bad sex. And I've done that before. There's been times where I felt insecure. So the best time that you're ever, now again, I don't do this anymore. And again, I've had my good and bad times in bed, but the best time you're going to have in bed is when you totally don't have any inhibitions, when you totally respect your partner, when you feel safe with your partner, and you're not worried about farting or whatever. I mean, not that you want it, but you're just, you're free to be you. Judgment. Oh, wow, Mr. Smith, laughing. Jaybird, you got to do it in the shower, R. Kelly style. Yeah, well, R. Kelly, man, that girl is underage, man. He's wild, man. James, hello to you, James. Great to see you. Jaybird's laughing good. Judgment. Wow, Jaybird. Judgment, hello. Jay Bird, sorry, Queen. That's okay. Yep. Mr. Smith, Cinco de Mayo is coming up. Time for me to load up on those 20 plus Hispanic women. Yeah, I mean, look, for me, I don't want 200 women in my life, but if that's what you're looking for, man, God bless. Judgment, I will not be, don't be belittled. If someone belittles you, it shows their lack of self-confidence and self-respect. Queen's great to have you back. Masha, I'm African American. I learned and I live all America. Clearly, American thinking is getting us nothing but ventilators. Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, obviously, look, if you go to Italy, I'm Italy. Italy had a major problem. Africa's having a problem. China had a problem. So it's a global pandemic. America has had the most deaths. We've tested the most too. So it's a balance. I think there's good and bad that we're learning. But I can't say that the only thing I've been blown away with other countries is one, again, I mean, America is the only first world country that doesn't have universal health care. I mean, right now, if you get laid off, even if you get the unemployment, how are you paying for your health care? Like, to me, that's a disgrace. So, and you're not talking about a lazy person. You're talking about someone who was working, they got laid off, now, they have unemployment, but they don't have health care. What if they break their leg going for a walk? And that's where the wealthiest country in the world should never be the case. Judgment, oh wow. Judgment, right FaceTime. I totally agree with that. Judgment, laughing, good. Judgment, wow. Masha, to reopen the country is scary. We don't even have a plan. Well, we have a plan. I have to be fair. The federal government issued a 3-phase plan. They deferred to the governors, which you can question that. And then the governors are supposed to follow that plan. Some of them aren't. You can question that. And then they go from there. So I have to be fair to Donald Trump and the federal government. They issued a 3-phase plan. Now, where they didn't enforce it is they're not enforcing it. They're still leaving it up to the governors as discretion. In my opinion, they should have said, look, you can open when you meet this 3-phase plan mandate. So Georgia shouldn't be able to open until they meet the phase 1 requirements. That's where they failed, to keep a uniform response to this national emergency. Okay. Because what's going to happen is if you don't have all the states acting the same, if people are still traveling domestically, you're going to have cross-contamination. So the way you keep things somewhat efficient is you have to standardize. Now, it's a unique scenario, but in this scenario, I would say that's a very fair approach. And again, I think the federal government did a good job, and I'll even give Trump and the CDC credit, where they gave specifics with the 3 phases. But where I say that they lack leadership is they say, all right, every state, it's up to them to figure it out. Now, I do agree that every state should be able to open on their own as far as like when they're ready, but they should have to meet a certain criteria. Or else you have a very imbalanced system, which leaves more room for error and makes this virus stretch out longer than it needs to, with more contamination than it needs to. So that's kind of like what I think about. Peppa Big, hello, Sam. You look great for your age. Well, damn it, thank you. A compliment gets you everywhere. It's because you take good care of yourself. Well, I always didn't, and I got good genes, I guess, too. I notice people who don't smoke. I smoked when I was younger. I stopped at the age of 25 and drink. I also stopped drinking when I was around 25. Look younger. Well, definitely. Smoking and drinking will definitely, it'll kill you early, and it'll make you more vulnerable to the virus. But Peppa Pig, thank you for that compliment, and I appreciate that. Masha, only plan to watch the first to reopen. I truly believe everything will be all right. Okay. Judgment. Oh, wow. Climate control can affect your mental health, too. Yes. Like, there's a lot of, like, some people make comments on Florida guy news. Like, there's, like, these memes that a Florida person did something crazy. And a lot of it is sometimes people say they do it because of the heat. But, look, I've seen people do crazy stuff all throughout the country. But I will say, from experience living in primitive life for 3 years, and even there was times that I lived in my house and the air conditioning broke and it wasn't fixed for a whole summer. Or my heat broke, it wasn't fixed for a winter. It's okay if it's a little bit hot or a little bit cold. But if it's extreme hot or extreme cold, you could really hurt your immune system because you can die. Look, your body temperature and keeping your body temperature stable is a big part of health. Your body temperature is somewhat affected by your climate that you're in. So when you get to an extreme climate outside of your body, that is going to affect your interior temperature if it's too extreme, too long. And that's what can make you sick. Let's continue. Judgment. Hello, Peppa Pig. Jay Bird, 200 pounds. Judgment. No live below your means. Good job, Judgment. James. Cobra is the insurance. I've paid for Cobra before. Cost me $700 a month. Have you ever paid for Cobra? I've had. Very expensive. Peppa Pig. Hello, Chocolate Chip Mint. Mouse. Hope everyone is doing well. I hope you are too. Chocolate Chip Mint. Yes, I'm doing good. Thank you, Peppa Pig. Chocolate Chip Mint. Thanks, Sam. Chocolate Chip Mint. So watch out, all people. Excellent comment, Chocolate Chip Mint. All right, guys. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Valerie and Mr. Smith, for the super chats. Thank you for everyone who clicks that thumbs up. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a peaceful night. Keep your sanity through self-care. Keep your sanity through self-care. And only keep good relationships. You will find someone else that will appreciate you. For every person that trolls you, there's 2 more people who vibe with you. But if you spend all your energy on someone who trolls you, whether they're in your house or online, you're never going to appreciate the 2 people that support you. God bless.